Thank the crowd view, but I can't see them.
No worries. It's not like I have a giant light in the way. You don't get that every day. So today we have a challenge. I intentionally gave our model the wrong address just so that I could be under a little bit more pressure, but I came prepared. When people see me in the gym with these, they think I'm joking, but I'm not, because we're about to turn it out today. So these are these are a fresh pair. Notice how Seth wears like a white t-shirt? This was me like going out when I was 7 years old to go play basketball, and I thought I could be on the Harlem Globetrotters. And so I would take out these sweatbands? And these things really work. Like when I see these young kids not using these, I'm like, you guys just haven't lived.
They wear them. They're just John Cena edition.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
They don't wear them. They don't wear them like I wear them. It's a little bit different. You know, and then Seth has me under these hot lights. I'm telling you, dying under here.
You're the one that brought 1,250 watt second lights with modeling lights on.
Would you guys rather see these or speed lights? Don't answer that. Don't answer that, because I know the answer I'm going to get. But just in case, so nobody sees me sweat, I'm coming with the headband on. So while we wait on our subject to get here, can I ask, what challenges do you guys have with light? Does anybody have challenges with hard light, soft light? What challenges do you guys have with light?
Reflection on the model's face when you're shooting hard light.
So reflections on the model's face.
Meaning you're getting specular highlights.
Specular highlights. We'll take care of those. He just made that up.
I didn't.
Hotspots. Everybody hates hotspots. I actually think hotspots or direct reflections used well and with intention can be beautiful. I'm one of those who does not stray away from using quote unquote hard light and doesn't stray away from hotspots. And if everything is appropriate within the image, and just to admit to everyone online, we are burning time right now, and it's my fault because I gave the wrong address, but you guys are gonna get to see me turn and burn once our subject gets here, which should be any time now. It's just really quick to get around in New York City, especially after a snowstorm. But I think as long as you operate with a certain amount of intentionality and ultimately it works, there's nothing wrong with quote unquote hotspots or getting specular highlights on a subject. We will deal with today we're gonna be shooting hard light, we're gonna be shooting soft light, we'll be adding some gels to light, we'll be mixing hard light and soft light. We'll get a strong understanding of your main light, the choices that go into making your main light, your fill light. Can you guys guess what my fill light is? I did this really just to lock Seth in, right? Like you have to find a way to like keep him buttoned down. And there's no better way than just put like a big, like I could hide him in here and Teresa will be asking, where's the body? Nobody will know.
I can't make dead body jokes. He can make dead body jokes now.
Because I don't have a dungeon.
Oh,
there's a,
let's.
you should have said anything. I'm just reacting to you. This is like going back and forth. I look like a Martin character here. I can get away with making comments. This is my stage. He doesn't believe me when I say that.
There's literally no stage.
Do you guys, does this look like a stage?
Yes.
Yes. Do we have any other questions from the audience? How about, yes. I still haven't mastered it, and I've been working on it for 25 years. I would say doing what I'm doing today is part of mastering all of it, meaning putting in a lot of practice, putting in a lot of time, and so some of the light shapers I'm going to be using, that was a very helpful one tip. So I'm going to be using a Pro Photo Telezoom reflector. It's a very hard direct light. I'm going to be using possibly spotlights. And speaking of spotlights, these Flashpoint or Godox BFPs, Flashpoint makes a version of these too, are one of my favorite Flashpoints. I modified it with a speed ring meant for that to fit onto here to make this work with Pro Photo lights. And can anybody guess what this light shaper goes for right now? Everyone who's here should walk over to Maury at the end of this, and you're gonna wanna get one of these before they sell out. Nailed it.
Really? How much?
It's about $100. Yes, and it has, with that, you get a grid, you get the external baffle, you get an internal baffle, and there's a deflector inside of it. And if you research, you will not find another company who makes a softbox that big until you get to like Shamira and the prices get ridiculous. Or Ellen Chrome is the only other manufacturer that makes something that big. And theirs is about a $1,400. So this is like a great light to use if you want to ultimately start working with really, really large soft light sources and just kind of get comfortable with them. I think this Godox UL line of softboxes is exceptional. You can put a speed light in there. The question we just got is, what is the minimal amount of light you would have to put inside of this light shaper to make it effective? And this would be effective even if you put a speed light inside of it. A speed light is 75 watt seconds approximately. Let's say your average speed light. And let's say if you were to put a hot light in there, it would be about like a 1,000 watt hot light. So speed light is more than enough power for this. So he asked, what would you do if you gave the model the wrong address? And it was in there. If the address was in there? Now I'm confused, but don't worry.
I would keep going through the setup.
Mm-hmm. And so basically what you're gonna see me do is turning lights on and off in order to ultimately deliver a bunch of looks. And I'm still good on time, don't worry. I know it seems like I could be running behind, but we have another 5 minutes and then we will get started and knock this out. Yes. How to create flattering shadows? So we got a great question there. How do we create flattering shadows? So first you have to understand like the shadow quality of the light shaper that you're using. So like, let's say if you use something like a Fresnel lens, it'll give you a very homogeneous shadow with like an even fall off. If I'm using a reflector like this, the shadow could be kind of like a little double shadow on the edge. And in order to make your shadows work with you more, there's a lot you can do with like gels to like bring them up. So you can like adjust the shadow contrast in your image. But in terms of making a shadow flattering, it really depends on the face. And it depends ultimately like what your intentions are. If your intention is to make someone look evil, then even an evil shadow could be very, very flattering. If you want to have no shadows, I'll do a look today in which we get rid of all shadows. And then I'll do some looks where we have some very, 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 very dramatic shadows as well. And that's why I mix it up between a light source like this, which is gonna give me the hardest quality of light. Then I move to something like this, which is slightly less hard, ultimately because it's larger and it's less directional. And then I'm gonna move to something like this, which Seth actually told me to bring in today, as if I couldn't bring in a large enough light shaper in order to show you what it looks like to make things almost shadowless. And so all of you will be able to, what are you guys' favorite light shapers? And people in the crowd can jump in on this one as well. And thank everybody who's online for being here. I would really love seeing more options about hard lighting. We will show you a bunch of hard lighting options today. We can use this, we'll use that, and we may even use bare bulb if I run out of setups to do, if I get through the 10 too fast.
Beauty dish.
Beauty dish. Beauty dishes are tricky because ultimately I think that, ooh, our model's here. I think it depends on the bulb that you have. Give me 1 second.
You're changing?
I am. I think beauty dishes are tricky because I think they were designed with a very specific intent and with a very specific throw of light in mind. And so I really like a beauty dish on an exposed bulb. And if I didn't have that, I would look at Mola's beauty dish, because Mola's beauty dish has a perforated center. So if you're shooting with like a flat front like this, some light can still make it through the front, or you can put a piece of opal glass in the front as well. So in terms of my favorite beauty dishes, the Mola Demi 22. After that, it would be the Pro Photo 22. And those are the only two I really have, I would say, a lot of experience with. If you need more natural color, I would go with the Pro Photo. If you want something that works better on these flat fronts, I would go with the Mola Demi. That's my personal preference. I feel like these kind of leave like a big hole in the front of some other lights.
If you're going to use a B flat, what sort of things you should take into account when it's going to create X kind of results.
If I was using a V flat, what are my considerations? I use a V flat for two reasons. Either I use it to bounce light, to remove light, meaning the backside is negative fill, or third, I'll even use it to cut light, meaning I'll use a V flat to kind of create like little slits of light or flag the light. And so those will kind of be all the things I would consider in terms of using a V flat. And our model changes really fast. We're only like a couple minutes away. I appreciate all of you. Give yourselves a hand for being so patient. Yep.
Someone's asking if starting out with lights, what are the recommendations? So lights.
If you're starting out with a light, what's my recommendation? It depends on what you want to shoot. When it comes to questions, if you're just starting out, the best thing you can do when answering a question is include, how you doing? Include a desired result. I get so many people ask me, what should my first light be? And it really depends on what you want your first image to be. So always ask a question of, oh, what's the best light for this? What's the best light for that? You have to really include the result in there as well. The best light to start out for portraits? Let me reframe the question. If you're just starting out and you want the best light to start out with portraits to best understand how to work with off-camera flash, and you want something that's going to be flattering, easy to travel with, and easy to fit into small spaces, I would choose a 3x4 rectangular softbox. I feel it gives you a large light source. You can learn how to feather light with it. They're relatively inexpensive in terms of like shopping across different brands. And that's what I would start out with. But it's a very difficult question. And it's what I started out with, so it's an easy answer. It was the only softbox my school had when I started. And so it was the only option I had, and that's what I learned on. But again, if you're someone else, let's say you're shooting pictures of babies, you may just want to start out with this. A nice, big, super soft light source that's going to be pretty much flattering on anyone.
Someone's asking, can light determine the quality of your images?
You know, can light determine the quality of your images? I think that's a very difficult question. I think you have to have some sort of standard when you're talking about like the quality of an image. Like I always like to look at like space, form, light. And then I would also add culture into that, meaning like what is the audience viewing these images before I would just say, okay, now what's the quality of this image? If you're shooting for the New York Times, you have to shoot for the eye of the editor of the New York Times and their reader. If you're shooting for Vogue, the same. If you're shooting for a skate magazine, I know Seth used to shoot for a lot of skate magazines. There's a very specific aesthetic that they go for. And so it really depends on your audience and your intention. And so that's why I say look at space, form, light, how you deal with all of those things, but ultimately, culturally, visually, you have to understand like what matters depending on who your audience is. And we should be ready pretty soon. Again, I appreciate. I have 45 minutes now for 10 setups. So our model should be here shortly. She got here, she's just getting dressed.
What camera and lens are you using today?
Today I'm gonna be using a Fuji GFX2 with a 45 to 100 millimeter lens. If I was to buy that camera and was thinking like what lens I wanted to start out with, unless you're someone who's like married to using prime lenses, that's what I would start out with. The 45 to 100. Hello, 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 hello. Can we give a hand for our model Dasha here? Thank you so much. Again, everybody, it was now we're about to get started. Start the timer now. How are you doing, Dasha? Fantastic, I know. So it's a pleasure to have you here today. Well, actually start standing up. How you feeling? Okay. The goal here is we have to get through 10 different lighting setups. And because of my little mishap, we have a little bit less time now. But there's levels to this. Oh, I should have been looking at the camera. Wait a minute, I'm gonna do that one more time. But there's levels to this. All right. We're gonna start out with our main light right here, which is a ProPhoto Telezoom. I have it on channel A. And we're gonna start out with hard light. Is everybody okay with that? Awesome. So Dasha, we're gonna start with this hard light setup. I apologize, I know this is pretty bright right now. I'm gonna raise this up because I wanna start this to be right above camera. Why do I want right above camera? Because right above camera, I'm gonna be able to do the most to control shadows. I'm gonna act like this is light with two sandbags on it. And so I'm starting out with a really hard light source here. And one of the ways to control shadow is gonna be depending on where I put it. But right now, I can't do too much talking. I need to do some walking, as they would say. Because this is New York. At some point, people are gonna start throwing stuff. And there's like hard snow out there, and it's dirty snow. And it's, yeah, we don't need that. And so for this one, is this modeling light too much for you? Perfect, you're gonna be looking right past, to me, the camera would be like right here. But hopefully this first picture comes out looking amazing as always. So I'm gonna take a quick light meter reading and kind of see where we're at. I'm a big fan on light metering because sometimes you don't have a lot of time to get done what you gotta do. And there's not a lot of time to test. So I'm gonna start out here. Perfect, we're about 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna turn off all my other lights and just turn, I didn't mean to turn everything back on. I'm just turning A on. And B should turn off. Give me one moment, perfect. Perfect, now we just have just this light firing. Beautiful, we're about 5, 6, 8. I'm gonna go up to F8 to be a little bit more safe. The reason I meter towards her forehead is actually this light is falling off, not the way I intended to. So I'm gonna aim it up just a little bit higher. And you can look at the shadow quality behind her. You see how it's kind of a dirty shadow due to the light shaper that I'm using. But oftentimes when I'm using a light shaper like this, it's because I want a lot of power. And again, I just wanted to make sure the light was falling off like from her forehead going down towards her chin versus the other way. And we're gonna start out at F. Lower the, oh, that's too bright, yep. Can do. Sometimes you have to work with the AV department, and I'm sure our model thanks us for that too. Because the modeling light was so bright, I'm sure it was contributing a little bit to my exposure. I'm just gonna double check. Thank you, 5, 6, 7. And about 90% of that is flash. The rest is coming from the modeling light. And we're gonna take our first photograph. You knew exactly what to do. Shut up, that's what I'm talking about. Beautiful. Perfect. How do we feel about that?
Beautiful.
So it's a hard lit shot. When we look at the shadows, we see that we have this hard shadow under the chin, which gives us definition to the chin, but we're okay in terms of all the shadows on the face due to the angle that I have the light at. So now we're gonna do 10 frames for every look. We're gonna get through this one kind of quickly so we can get to the other ones relatively fast. So just give me 10 different poses.
The rest more reflective of the model.
The reflector I'm using is a Profoto telezoom reflector with no grid. Beautiful. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, beautiful job. 7, hold that, I'm gonna get tighter. 8, 9, 10. Perfect, our first look is in the bank. Now, how do we switch from this and go to something very, very, very soft, almost completely shadowless? We go to our fill light, which I wasn't using before. And because I have this huge light behind me, I'm actually gonna raise it up just a little bit. I like to make sure the center of this is kind of like even with my head. So I'm gonna step right back here. Look at that, that's the trap door. You didn't know I had that.
You didn't have them count with you? What is this?
Yeah, we're getting people warmed up. They put a lot of work in listening to me in the beginning. We're all good. Well, perfect. And trust me, I got to deal with this guy the whole time. That was the only bad part about you not being here is I had to deal with Seth the entire time. But I enjoy Seth. Perfect. So I'm going to get a quick light meter reading. I'm doing this kind of myself in the way to kind of get an understanding where I'm at, because I'm going to be blocking some of that light as well. And is this light somewhat centered on you? Is that better? Perfect. Perfect. So here I'm about 5, 6, 8, similar to where I was before. Just in case I'm getting a shadow from this light, I'm just going to swing it out of the way. And to double check with what it looks like with me standing in front, I took my meters on cordless flash mode, so it's going to wait for a pop. If you can just hold this right under your chin, pointing it right at me. I'm going to be photographed from about right here. And I have about f8.3, perfect. Now we're going to quickly dive into look number 2, in which we're going to get a very, very, very soft light. You're doing a wonderful job. And because I know I want this look to feel a little bit more high key, I'm actually going to open up by about half a stop. And now we have like a very high key, somewhat shadowless, all white look. And so now, and you see how it makes the dress pop even more? And so now we're going to give us 10 of these, please. Beautiful. Beautiful. Love. Love. And for the last 5, we'll do something really special. And don't worry, I will not count this as another look. For this, I'm just going to have you come towards me. The closer she gets to me, what's going to happen, she's going to get a little bit brighter. The background is going to get a little bit darker. The lighting is going to change a little bit. So I'm going to remeet her just a touch. Come a little bit closer. Perfect. And here I can do this all myself. I'm at 11.3 here. So I'm just going to turn my power down a little bit until I get to 8.3. Again, I'm not counting this as another setup. I'm not cheating. I don't want to hear anybody out there say I'm cheating. Feel free to throw questions my way as I do this. Beautiful job. And so now I'm basically going to transition this into more of like a beauty look. And again, you're going to see she's going to get a little brighter. The background is going to get a little darker. Well, she's going to get brighter in relativeness to the background. Does anybody know why? That's my man, because she's closer. Perfect. And now we're just going to do just beauty. So hands by the face.
So someone's asking, why aren't you worried about standing in front of the octabox?
Why am I not worried about standing in front of the octabox? Because it's so big. Like it's wrapping around me. That's a great question, though. Beautiful. I always like to look what the first frame looks like. Let our subject see what the first frame looks like. And you see that nice catch light that's in there? Beautiful. So now we're going to do a few more. And I like that. I like when you put a little personality into it. Love. Beautiful job. That's 2 in the bank. We are working. All right, so now let's move to mixing our main light with our fill light. If you step back for me a little bit, right? Not that far back. Come up just a little bit. Right there is perfect. Love that. So now what I'm going to do is by changing the angle of this light. So remember how we started out and I had the light very directionally towards her? Now we're going to go for something a little bit less flattering, again, depending on who your subject is. I get lucky, everything's flattering on Dasha. If we give a hand to Dasha, I gave her directions on how to get to the opera. And she she got back here in record timing. And so here, you know what? That's why I shoot with Fuji. Because even after I drop a camera like that, I know it's still going to work. Not the first time. Let me move this back here. I'm glad it happened on because at least this way, they'll probably give me another one if I really broke it. Perfect. Now I'm going to turn our fill light off, and then I'm going to turn our main light on. But to speak to that, I do have a backup. So that's why I wasn't worried. Because any camera can go to the repair shop, but this demo must go on. And I get a free cleaning check with it too. I'm gonna have you come a little bit more forward. Perfect. Actually, step back. I'm gonna move this a little bit more closer to you. And so what you're gonna see now is I'm gonna build this shot up. You may not like the first shot, but you'll like the second one, I promise. So here about f8.3 there. Who thinks I should show a gel into this because I'm so ahead of time? that I can just add in a gel with no problem. But what we're doing now is we're building like a modeling portfolio. I always hear people say, how come you can't work? You only can work in like a big space. And I'm just sitting there like, oh my goodness. If only you knew the small spaces that you have to shoot in as a professional photographer. I always keep a little extra gaff tape. You can tell when a photographer is just starting out because they try to store every old piece of gaff tape that they can because it's like $20 a roll. But when you're in Adorama, you just burn through it because guess what? It's on them. So you could be like, you get a piece of gaff tape.
That's my tape. No.
I know.
No, come on, yo.
You get a piece of gaff tape.
It's $60 a roll. Man.
It's on the house. You guys want to pass that around?
Who wants a free GFX 102 that just got dropped on the floor? Enjoy it.
I'll take it right back to the used department and be like, nothing happened to it.
What's in the gel?
The gel that I'm using is a steel green gel. Did anyone see that this got caught to my headband? It is a Lease steel green. I believe it's a 728 is the number.
The chat's asking you to please make more noise into your mic with that gel.
I apologize. But what are you going to do? Sometimes you just got to find a way to gel a light. That is not pretty. I'm so glad no one can see inside this softbox right now because it looks like a car crash.
Oh, no, it's not that bad.
You had to show everybody. Come on.
But Daniel Norton in here. I've seen worse.
Oh, that was messed up.
Oh, stop it. I love that guy. Shut up.
And next thing Seth's going to say, everyone says I'm mean. All right, so now basically what I did is a lot of people do like, a lot of people will gel their light, like in Photoshop, you'll like add some color to the shadows, but we're gonna do that live. How am I doing on time? So much time, so much time. Okay. So now, what happened? Oh, I turned it off? No, it's on, it's intentionally. But I like you, so you got my back. Just take the whole goddamn roll. Let you step over this way just a little bit and come forward just a touch. Another stand's kind of in your way. Don't worry, Seth. I'll get the tape.
All right, I'm giving the check away that I was going to give you
Good
for this demo anyway. Don't worry about it.
Perfect. Oh, you get the check now. Perfect. And so you're going to start out with the chin kind of down. Yes. So now, this is going to speak to the question you asked, right? How do we get rid of unflattering shadows? I should just be shooting through this. I shouldn't be like teaching at the same time, but I love teaching, right? So we're going to start here. You're going to look towards me, chin slightly down. Can you guys guess what this is going to look like? We'll wait till you see these shadows. And you can kind of give me kind of like a scowl. Think about you just got on the train and Seth is like, sorry, I won't bring up Seth. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to turn my camera on and off. Hopefully, actually, nothing did break and I have to go to camera number 2. That should be good. Perfect. Beautiful. And we're praying we have an image and I didn't break his camera. So what happened with those shadows? Not very flattering, right? Now you're going to do me a favor. I'm just going to have you tilt your chin up towards the light. Beautiful. Better. All right? Sometimes you have to have your model change their face towards the light, but still no cigar. So now we're going to add our fill light. How do I like to add my fill light? I know I shouldn't even change from that, but that would be cheating if I just said that's going to be another look, right? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to have our fill light, but I'm going to meter our fill light to be 2 stops below. I like to usually start at 3 stops. So actually let me go to 3 stops below our main light. That's minus 2.4 stops. That's minus 2.9. That's minus 3 stops. So now, turning both those lights on. But this is where I could easily grab another look, and I may have to come back to it if I run out of time, but I don't think that's going to happen. So I'm going to mix these two. What did I shoot that last one at? Perfect. And so now I can have her with her chin down. I'm gonna widen up just a little bit. And watch how we kind of get like a natural color grade going on. And then I make a decision. Do I like just the two-stop addition? Or do I want to change it? And here, I think I'm going to add another stop to this, but I don't want the background getting too much brighter. So what I'm going to do is have her move forward just a little bit. Perfect. This is easy. It's like double jeopardy. I'm in 2.
It's not a lot of drama. What happens? Oh. It's not.
Perfect. Come this way just a little bit. Perfect. And let's still go with the chin up. I think that was more. Yes. Beautiful. And now adding in, oh, I forgot, I'm going to add in just a half a stop to our fill light. Nothing crazy. And I got some more just by bringing her closer. Perfect. And now I have this very subtle fill. Now let me give you a quick before and after. What happened? How rude.
I'm showing that awesome catch light.
Let me give you guys a
Show
quick
off.
before and after. If you hold the same pose in the same position, beautiful. And I'm gonna turn my fill light back on. What, did it fire? 1 second. I didn't turn it all the way off. It should be turning off. Give me 1 second. There we go. So now with just my main light, and now when I add my fill light back, give me 1 second. It just didn't come back on. Perfect, there we go. And then when I add my fill light, you can see the difference that they make. And so now we're gonna go on, give me 10 frames of that. Beautiful, beautiful, love, great job, love it, perfect. You've done this before. 2 more, last one, beautiful. All right, that was look number 3. Moving right along, how you feeling? Fantastic, I'm gonna move you against the background. Perfect, and just watch out, it's kind of rolled up there, but don't worry about that. So now, I'm gonna do what's called a gimme, right? A gimme is like one of those shots you know is always gonna work. Can anybody guess what I'm about to do? I'm gonna go bare bold. Not what you're thinking, Seth. So, taking that off. Now, if I start just here, you see the shadow behind her, how it's really clean now versus the shadow we had before. Let me show you the difference there. Should have turned that off, but I was waiting for a call. Huh? No, you can leave it. This is powerful enough. So if I turn this on, you see how the shadow got a little dirty? Because the reflector, there's multiple light sources that happen when you put a reflector on a light. But you see how that just cleans it right up? That's a nice clean shadow. I didn't mean to say it in like a sexy voice. I apologize. So now what I want to do is I want to offset the shadow, right? Again, answering your question. This one's for you. Thank you for asking that. And as I change the position of the light, you see I start to change the position of that shadow. Why do I call this setup a gimme? Because this is like, if you don't know anything about lighting, everybody can do this. I don't know why that just turned off. I kicked the little thing. I think I did. Nope, that's still on. Give me 1 moment to check why that light went out. Did I actually unplug it? There we go. So now I have this nice shadow here with our model. I can shoot this 2 ways. I can shoot it straight on. I can shoot it from over here. And then I can also shoot it from this direction. Can you guys see over here okay? I'm here for you. All right. And I'm gonna have you stand a little closer back to the background. Yeah. Due to the cost of the tape, Seth did not want to cut the paper. Oh yeah, I like this. I could keep this going all day long. Perfect. And you're gonna see the shadows get a little bit harder here. Perfect. Oh, I thought you had a question. Nice shirt. The gentleman just came in here and has a really cool shirt on. I know you want to look. He's like in the third row. He's definitely from New York. He looks really cool. Perfect. And so now, again, I'm gonna grab this gimme real quick. Again, this is a shot I like to feel a little bit more high key. So first, I'm gonna have you just straight on towards me. Perfect. And if you can go back against the paper even a little bit more, just kind of, yeah, you can kind of kick it. It's just paper. Yeah, perfect. Yes. Perfect. And again, this shot right here is what I would consider a gimme. Right? Give me that. Right? How easy is that? Bare bulb flash, no reflector. Give me, we got to do 10 of these real quick. We'll make this fast. Beautiful job. Love. I'm going to come over to this angle over here, kind of show the difference that we get. Now I'm kind of hiding the shadow. Beautiful. Love. I'm going to widen up a little bit. That's one of the beautiful things that you can do with this lighting. Perfect. Now for this last one, I'm going to sit in your lap, sir. I'm joking. You're fine. You're fine. Now I'm going to shoot this kind of from this angle. And again, you'll be kind of looking towards me. Beautiful. I have a shadow over here that I don't like. 1 second. I know I should be rushing through this. You have 5 minutes. I don't care. I could do this in my sleep. Beautiful job. Sorry. I got my badunkadunk in your face. Now you see how we have a few more shadows? I like this. I want you to lean all the way into the shadows. Turn your body all the way this way. Even more. Even more. Yes, perfect. Kind of lean your head towards the wall. But even turn your chest that way even more. Yes, perfect. Now you're just going to get the reflection off the wall. I'm going to open up here by about a half a stop and kind of lean your face towards the wall a little bit more. Perfect. I just want to see what that feels like. Sorry about that, Seth. Cool. So now we have something like a little darker, a little bit more mysterious, but still a very clean shadow. Beautiful. Last one. Perfect. How easy was that? We got 3 looks. Again, that's how you get a nice, clean shadow. To get a nice, clean shadow, you want one single light source. So now we need to move on to, I know where we go with this. I know exactly where we go with this. Spotlight. Spotlight is a whole other kind of hard light. So I've shown you the telezoom, which is a hard light source. This thing's getting heavy. I apologize. It's not like Wonder Woman with her things. These just wipe off sweat. Wonder Woman, that was a joke. No one even got it. I know you were listening. Don't fake laugh. Like, if you're gonna laugh, at least give me something like half laugh. So I modified a Godox BFP with a Pro Photo mount. And yeah, that's what I did. I'm gonna get this on here. I know you guys are saying, Ab, you just put a spotlight on there and we don't see anything. Look at that. Girl, with them jeans, your mama got more kids. You just don't know it. Perfect. So we're gonna go with the spotlight, but we are gonna make some changes once we get it dialed in. So I'm gonna raise it up because I kind of see the shadow where it's falling below her chin. Again, thinking about shadows. Great question before. If you guys ask great questions, I will give you amazing answers.
Lay off him, lady, all right?
I get that
Throw
all
you
the
out of here.
time. I got no problem with 22 minutes. So I was not making an endamendo. I didn't even say the word, so you can't say that I said what you thought I said. So now I'm gonna come over here and see where we're at. And we're at 2.8. I'm gonna go to 10. These do eat a lot of light. You heard that, Pop?
What lens do you have on that?
I have on the 65 millimeter lens. No, 85 millimeter lens. And I probably have the recycling turned down. So I'm at 5, 6.5. Since I heard the beep on here is going a little slow, the recycling on this light is probably a little slow. So I still have time to make a quick change. Yeah, I had the speed at 25% recycle. Let's see if we can blow a circuit. And I'm gonna turn the modeling light up so I can see it just a little bit more now that I'm using the spotlight. And I have a safety cable on here if anyone's wondering, is it gonna fall on my head and hurt me? No. And it'll save the light. That's really the intention. Anytime a photographer thinks they have a safety cable on something, like to save the subject, let me tell you something. That pro photo ain't cheap.
I think she's safe over there.
She said, no, you don't know. She within 20 feet of Seth. I'm joking. Don't worry, Seth. You can get up after this and tell me how bad of a human being I am. Don't cut the stream. We're not Ghostbusters.
You're giving away my.
Do you guys remember Ghostbusters? Don't cross the stream. That's basically what Seth was doing to me right now. So now you guys want to see what this looks like before I add the fill light to this, right? Because it would just be cheating if I did this all by itself. Okay, let me do that. You guys are burning all this time. Perfect. I'm gonna turn this back on. I'm gonna turn the light back on. Give me 1 second. We must have some weird radio signals going around here today. Perfect. I'm about 564. I'm gonna let you guys see what it looks like just using the spotlight. And with this dress, it just kind of calls for it. 564, about right there. Perfect. How easy was that? Finally, we get it, right? But what does everybody like to do? They like to add a little bit of color, right? So again, how do you start to work with your shadows, right? 564. I'm gonna bring this spotlight, my fill light, so that it's about 1 second. Just waiting for it to turn back on. There we go. I'm gonna bring it about 3 stops below. Perfect. I'm gonna come back over. And now that I've added the fill light, let's see how it changes. And now you can see just what the fill light looks like by itself. And now let's see what happens when we mix it with the spotlight. As the spotlight goes back on, give me 1 second. Come on, Mr. Spotlight. Sometimes it happens, all this radio signals, all these people in here makes the lights nervous. Beautiful job. Let's look at what our first frame looks like. Let our subject see the first frame. Now we've kind of filled that shadow in with a little bit of color. And so now let's go for it. How you doing? Perfect. Love. Beautiful. Love. Remember, what can we do? Move around. So now when I come over here, right, and we see that shadow that's behind her, you're doing great. You don't have to do anything. And you see how she keeps looking towards the light? Like a star, just like a star. Adds a little bit more depth and dimension just by me moving to the side. Love that. Love that. Last one. Mister, please. We got this. Come on. How many looks is that? 5? Don't worry. Oh, you thought I was coming down. Like, I got to catch him. I'm going to save his life.
I just accept
Clearly.
my fate at that point. I just
Perfect. So now we're going to move on to another look. What should we do now? We're going to work on a little beauty. How you like that? Come over just a little bit. Stay right there. Perfect.
That's your key and key fill.
Oh, they were asking? Thank you, Seth. And I get a digital tech. So one of the fun things that you can do with these is you can start to play with the leaves just a little bit, or you can call them gobos. And now I'm going to sharpen this up just a tad. Perfect. Now we got this nice sharp light on our model. Perfect. Now they think I'm just gonna keep mixing lights. That would be cheating, right? You have to add a whole nother light into there. I'm gonna bring this light in. But I don't want it to be just a boring same old color. So I'm gonna pick a warming gel. Thank you very much. And he gave me a little extra to take home. Who does that? So after this, I'm on number 6. Easy money, easy money. You just had to say something, didn't you? You're like, you was that child in a road trip. Are we there yet? I was the same one except me. I was waiting for the next rest stop. I wanted food. I was that kid. And nothing was better than rest stop food when you were growing up. Yeah, has anyone ever actually rested at a rest stop? They should call it like a.
That's what goes on.
Whoo, hey, bring your truck over here. You asked for it. I wasn't even going there. Perfect. Who cares if we get demonetized?
I do.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to bring in a little accent on this one. Minus 2 stops below our main light. Let me see where our main light was. Give me 1 second. So some people ask, why do you use a light meter, Ab? Because I don't have a lot of time, okay? Let me kind of get our baseline exposure again. Ooh, we're f11.4 here. I feel safe at 11.4. You feel safe at 11.4? Sure. Perfect. You say yes. And now I'm gonna meter our background light. I have background light on D. It's 2.8. Because it's an edge light, it's always going to appear to be a stop brighter than it is due to the angle of the reflection on her. So I'm going to set it to like 5.6 because I just want it to be like a little hint of light. So here we're at like 5.61, so it's about 2 stops below there. So it's going to be like just this little breath of light. And then our fill light, we'll bring our fill light back into this. Let's turn this light off. And our fill light, we're at 11. So on our fill light, again, we want to get about 2 stops below. So we're going to go about 5.6. Almost there. Almost there. 5.6. Perfect. Now we're going to put everything back on and throw that little edge light back on. Here, just to be safe, I'm gonna do one final overall measurement. Perfect, I'm at 11.8 now, so a lot of contribution from all the other lights. And let's see what this looks like. I'm gonna take one picture, but now that I know where everything is at, I can easily dial things back with one adjustment and then get right to taking pictures. Let me take one more reading to see where I was at. I want all the pictures coming out to be money. Okay, a little harder than I thought. Okay. Beautiful. Yep, and your face is right in the light. Great job. I'm gonna cheat. Oh, that I saw a shadow from the softbox, but that's coming from Seth's light. Beautiful. And now what I want you to do is angle your face more that way. You can clap. I heard one hand in there. Perfect. You know, angle your face that way. I'm gonna bring this more over here so it's not kind of interfering. And then just bring that eye back towards me. And now we're gonna go for 10. Easy money. Perfect. So I kind of like what's going on there. That edge light is like very, 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 very subtle. But due to the fact she's so close to the background, I can't say that I'm like in love with it. So I'm gonna change something up just a little bit to get to our next look. But that's 6. And now we're gonna move to, was that 6? Okay, we're gonna move to 7. 7 is gonna be easy. Again, we're gonna go for like a gimme on this one. Here, I'm gonna simply have you turn towards that light. Perfect. I'm gonna open this up. I'm going to move it out of the way because we don't need it. All right, and come towards me just a touch. Right there is good. I know you barely moved. You're like, you said come towards me, and then you did nothing. I'm gonna move this a little bit more to the side here. Beautiful. Am I gonna keep the grid or take the grid out? I'm gonna take, no, we'll take the grid out. Have faith. Sometimes when I'm working fast, I'll just leave the grid like hanging there. We call that a hanging grid. It's a real lighting technique. Use the hanging grid technique, Ad. Perfect. And now I'm at F8 on that light there. Move a little closer to it. Perfect. Look back towards me just a touch. No, you're good. Just bring your face back towards me. Beautiful. Perfect. We're at F8 on that light. I also want to double check to see what we're at on our fill light. F4, so there's a 2-stop difference. I like that. I'm gonna go in about there, and I'm gonna have you kind of just look back towards me. Hope to God this comes out. And, oh, that's just what the fill light looks like all by itself. And now we turn on our main light and you can see what both of them look like together. And now we have a completely other look. See, here I wanted it to be a little hotter, just so it feels like this sunlight coming through a window. So let's go with this for a minute, and let's go with beautiful, love, gorgeous, great job. You have the tag sticking out in the back, but don't worry about it. We're moving fast. You're riding dirty, that's riding dirty. Perfect, I'm gonna come in for a beauty shot, and just 2 more. I love that over the shoulder. You can turn chest towards me a little bit more. Perfect, and go right over your shoulder. Beautiful job. Go over your shoulder, kind of looking at me, kind of shrugging it up, yes. Perfect. And tilt your head towards that light just a little bit and rotate, yes, perfect. And love that with the mouth open, 1 more. Last one. So now we have 7. Are we moving on to 8? Ooh, can we do, all right, we got to do a gimme for 8. We are going to, I know exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to position you all the way against the background. Perfect. I'm going to take out this gel. We have to go to like another gimme. I hate doing all these gimmies. I want to do like more complicated stuff, but you know, I sent you to the ballet earlier. So for this next gimme, using these 2 strip lights, now I'm gonna use them as our main light, right? I'm gonna bring this to about there. And then this one, what power am I at over there? 8, 9. I'm gonna wake it up on the remote just to be consistent. You look at me like I haven't done this before. I just had to say something, and you know, Seth always tells me I just keep talking. Doesn't always work. My parents used to tell me to shut up, so it's like counterproductive. What I'm used to. I'm gonna drag this down. Perfect. And I think that's gonna be kind of nice, right? Kind of surround you with these 2 lights. Okay, we could still do this. I feel like I get to go into the bonus round. Means I get like 5 more minutes. Easy work. Are we on both of these now? Perfect. 8, 9. I'm gonna go to 8 over there. Look at that. Don't you like when they sync together? They're like friends, happy lights. And to make this more dramatic, should the background go dark or should the background be light? Dark. Okay. They outvoted you, but I got you on the next one. Perfect. I'm gonna bring these here. I'm gonna move this over here. So I don't want to hear anybody saying, I mean, I'm just working in my garage and I don't have that big studio. Hey, we all got to start somewhere. Come forward, please. Perfect. Ooh. We're at F8. 16. I want to get at least down to F8. Making sure that's working. Yep. Or 8, 9. Go down a little bit more. Perfect. Now I'm going to throw a little Hail Mary in here. Sorry, I'm just going to add another light. I shouldn't have said Hail Mary. I apologize. Can't get religious. Yeah, question.
Tennessee Rick is asking, what is the thought behind the tilt to the strip boxes?
Not the slight tilt down, but the rotation.
So Tennessee Larry there has a really good eye. Was that his name, Larry?
Tennessee Rick, you met him.
Oh, Tennessee Rick. Tennessee Rick. I thought he was talking about Texas Larry. I apologize. Tennessee Rick. So the reason I tilt them down is I feel like it brings the front a little closer and the angle just feels right. And so the first time I saw a photographer do this was this photographer, Douglas Dubler. He used to use strip lights to do this from Braun Color. Paid a lot of money for those. But I'm going to add a fill light in here to add a little twist onto this. What was that before? I was like F8. If I could bring this 5, 6, 8. Okay, so we're gonna be in a relatively high key here. Turn on light C, praise the Lord. Turn on light D, hallelujah. And I went to a solid F11. We're gonna see what that looks like. Beautiful job. And so this would be like if you wanted headshots. On the money. So now we're gonna knock, hey, thank you. Would anybody like their picture taken in this light? I'll take 3 people. 1, 2, 3, I got this. Josh, we're gonna get 3 photos real quick. Perfect, 1, 2, 3, beautiful. And now come in, sir. I like that. How does this light work with glasses and do we have to make any quick adjustment? Come forward. Come forward for me. Right there is perfect. I would take the glasses off just for this lighting, or I'd have to make some adjustments. Oh, I love this. Beautiful. Hold your collar for me. Kind of like, yes, perfect. Want a little John Travolta here. Staying alive. Perfect. I got you. Last one. Oh, my man. I love. Actually, lift the collar up and kind of look over the collar a little. Other side of the collar. Yes. And just give me that little eye. Come forward just a little bit more. Come forward. Bring your whole body. Yes. Beautiful job. Oh my goodness. That's what I'm talking about. Beautiful. Come right up. We'll make it quick. This is the guy I told you had the cool shirt, Dasha.
Get it?
We'll knock this out.
$1 at the.
Come close right here. Perfect. Love that. Oh man, I love this. Just the way you're standing right now, that pride. I love it. That smile. 1, 2, and 3. Beautiful job. Actually put the hand back up there. I kind of like that. Love it. And now, what is the funniest face you could possibly make? Love it. And that's 3. Love it. And Dasha, come back in for me. I will. I'm not sure, but at the end of this, we'll figure that out. And now we've got to knock out a quick 1, 2, act a little surprised. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Love it. Look at the variations we get there.
Both strips on the same color.
Both strips are somewhat on it. They're a 1/10 of a stop different. So now that was a gimme. We're gonna move these strips off. You have to make Superman noises. I got 1 minute left. Okay, when you got 1 minute left, they call me 1 Minute Larry. All right. I don't know. They got Texas Pete and all these other names. I could be 1 minute Larry. Perfect. Someone hold this. Thank you. Can he do it? Am I going to hit anything? Just anyone tell me, is Ab going to hit? Am I clear? I'm clear. Perfect. No. We don't CP time today. I get a little bit more. I get 5 more minutes. Some of you guys don't know what that means, and that's okay. So now, is this going to be number 9? This is 9? Okay. So for 9, I'm going to cheat this one. I'm going to have you get really close. Beautiful. And turn your head kind of towards the light. Love it. And this is on B. So on this one, I'm going to cheat just a little bit because I can. And now we just have this big, beautiful light on. All right. Look at that. Seth gets a camera angle back. Now he's happy. Perfect. So we're about 8, 6. I like that. Again, this is our gimme. And perfect, looking right at me. Beautiful. Not crazy about that shadow that we're getting over there. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna turn this just a little bit more. I'm gonna have you step back just a touch, still turn towards the light, and move towards the background just a touch more. Beautiful. And here I know I'm pretty safe. I'm just gonna open up literally 1/3 of a stop. And I'm cropping right below your shoulder. Gorgeous. And look into the light. Love. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hands kind of by your face. Beautiful. And the eyes just looking back at me. 6, 7, 8. I'm gonna get really tight on this one. You're doing a great job. 9. Just give a little variation. Love that. 10. Woof. All right. That was look number 9. Now to quickly give me another gimme, all you have to do is feather the light, right? So, oh, this is a lot of feathering. And come this way just a little bit. Come that way just a little bit. And set for this one if you want to kill some of the interior lights a little bit so people can see the feather. If not, it's okay. I'm gonna feather it to about right there. He really took that. Oh, perfect, perfect, perfect. And you're gonna look back towards this light for me. Perfect. And you see that shadow on the background? Perfect. And but Seth, if it looks horrible for video, you could put the video back on.
Can't, thanks to the permission.
So perfect. So now we got like a little bit of a shadow going on back there. And I'm at F4 now that I'm kind of feathering it. I'm gonna see if I can pull it back even further. Excuse me, I'm gonna get behind you. And due to the fact about this big old light, I don't have that much more space. But, come forward just a little bit. Perfect. Again, looking at that light. 4.0, 4.5, love it. Making sure the light's falling off as it goes down and not as it goes up. I do see that her chin is a little hotter than her forehead, so I'm actually gonna raise this light up just a little bit. So that I always like my light to fall off going down. So I'm raising this up just a little bit higher. And sometimes when you're feathering light, the way I had a corner, it could be smart to switch to an edge. But you see, I'll still take my time, because guess what? It's my stage. There's no stage here. It's a stage for me. I grew up in Chicago. Anything is a stage. Perfect. He's just mad because the pizza here is horrible. Perfect. Now I was just checking the backgrounds. I want to make sure the background goes relatively dark. Getting one more test, see what we look like there. Perfect. And when I'm metering, oftentimes I'm also just thinking my way through the shot. There's a question. Perfect. And so now, kind of just looking towards the light. Beautiful job. I love that. 1 second, my ISO was wrong. Let me go to ISO 80. That was read a little dark. And we have number 10. Woo! 1 second, let's knock these out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, coming in for beauty. 8, 9, 10. That is a great shot to end on. How pretty is she? So that was 10 looks, and we're still under an hour if we're being technical here. So I could throw in a little bit more sauce. One more. One more? One more. All right, we're going to go for one more. All right, for this one, I'm going to get a little complicated here. So I'm going to go with both my strip lights. I'm going to come back to a dramatic main light, and then bring us back over is my fill light. Let's do that. So what I'm going to do here, don't you like how you have to play pool and you have to call your shots, right? I'm going to use this as my fill again. I'm going to hit her with like 2 edge lights. They're going to be a little bit more dramatic. And then I'm going to bring in, I'm going to use a spotlight as my main light, but I'm not going to read it as a spotlight. I'm just going to use like a hard light source so I get these nice crisp shadows. I think that's where I'm going to go with this. And you guys can count how long this takes to test me. And Dasha, just move to wherever you have to move to be safe. I'm just whipping this thing around like a race car. Am I going to knock anything over? Maybe not. Perfect. All right. So I got this light back to where we had it. I am going to give it. Oh, I just thought of something. Go next to the background. We got this. Because as you know, there's levels to this. I love saying that. I didn't do it to the camera. I was just talking to myself. It happens. This is Seth's light. You can have that, sir.
Thank you.
Thank Adorama for that one. Nobody gives back like Adorama. Okay. This is perfect. And then I have this mess of gels here, and I'm just going to go with it. I'm going to take this. Anybody guess what I'm doing? Shut your mouth. He didn't hear it. He didn't hear it. I'm going to take this down. Again, we're going for number 11. If I get this in the next 7 minutes, it means this is 11 looks inside of 1 hour. Because I can change the rules just a little bit. Because I'm Ab, and I do that.
Yes, that is Cliff in the front row. And everybody that's commenting right now.
Does anyone have a pair of scissors on them?
You want bleeds?
Yeah, I'll take that. Oh, I get to use the scalpel?
Yeah.
Yes.
Scalpel, then you need a scalpel.
Allegedly.
Whoa.
All right. This is a Lee 132. This you can actually keep. That's all yours. A little half gel. All right. And then Seth, for dramatic effect, whatever you could comfortably reduce the lights down to. Yeah, you know, it's the last one. Oh, man. I feel like I was about to start hearing that music from, like, what was that Kung Fu movie with Shonuff? It's the last dragon. I know I'm not doing a good job at that. So this is kind of like a little Hail Mary I'm about to throw up. Ooh, and almost died. See that? That's why I use a safety cable. Watch this little trick. Got it. I did that just to demonstrate why you should use a safety cable. And nobody was hurt in the making of this broadcast. But if you're gonna get hurt, at least do it at Adorama. Okay. Okay. Beautiful job. I'm gonna call this one Moon over Adorama. Is gonna be the title of this one, this shot. Perfect.
You guys can hit like for Ab in that chat. He's literally dying in front of your face.
Perfect. This looks good. The Moon over Adorama shot. I'm gonna get that a little sharper. Why is it green?
Yeah.
It happens.
Don't even.
I kind of like it. Ooh, I'm at 4.7. Okay. Moon over Adorama. Again, sometimes you have to have these little tricks in your bag for times just like this. And give me kind of arms up, very dramatic. Beautiful job. And dun, 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 Moon over Adorama. Now I'm going to bring the blue up just a little bit more. Sorry, I left my phone on just so I could hear when Dasha was coming, and I forgot to turn it off. And the little gradient, I want the gradient to not be as sharp. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this towards the light more. So now that gradient is going to be less pronounced with my Moon over Adorama shot. I'm going to come back. And again, I make all my adjustments very intentional, and they're usually artistic adjustments, not trying to correct for Moon over Adorama. And now give me 10. Beautiful. Love. Gorgeous. Love it. Beautiful job. Beautiful job. Beautiful job. Love. Thank you, Dasha. So that was 11 looks. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate you. And you know the thing that you guys didn't get a lot of? Missed frames, right? Every shot was with attention. We're not like, oh, wait a minute, that was 5 stops overexposed. That was 3 stops overexposed. That was 10 stops overexposed. That was 20 stops overexposed. Everything was just dialed in to kind of where we knew it would be safe. Take a picture, make one adjustment, and get to work. So anybody who tells you that it's too slow to use a light meter, well, come to my stage and let's get down. So I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dasha. You sure you don't want it? Yeah. Bring it on there with it.